Good morning, everyone. Is Weather with Sim again. I hope you guys are all having a great day. And in today's video, we're going to be going over your January forecast. And we got something very interesting to talk about for the month of January. January is going to be a lot different and even a lot more active too as well. So we'll talk about those things. But first of all, we're going to go ahead and start off with the Northeast on what we can expect for the month of January. And as you guys can probably see, we expect a couple of nor'easters to occur. So we could even see more than just a couple, but we do expect quite a bit of nor'easters to occur. And as you guys can probably see, it does include places like New England getting into the mid-Atlantic area, but even over here into places like New Jersey, Delaware, and even Virginia. So we'll definitely have to watch that area closely. I have seen the GFS model put out a few huge snowstorms going up the coast, but since that was really far out, we still don't completely know or 100% know on how these things will really play out. So something to really keep an eye on if you do live in New England or even the Mid-Atlantic. Now, as we get a little bit farther east, west, we actually are seeing an area that's going to be mainly dry, especially because we're seeing strong El Nino, which indicates that we will be seeing typical El Nino patterns. It has even been stronger than it has been lately, so I mean, it has definitely been strengthened lately for sure. So I mean, we'll have to see if it gets any stronger or not. I'm not sure if we're going to see record-breaking El Nino, but if we do, that will be an issue, and we'll have to see about that. But we're going to start talking about this area, and like I said, this area will be mainly dry, but I think we could even see a few storms too as well. So I think we could see a huge snowstorm in this area that may bring a few inches of snowfall or so. So that's something to really keep an eye on, even though we're gonna see typical El Nino patterns for this month. So I mean, we'll really have to watch this area closely for mainly dry conditions with a couple of storms mixed in with that. So really something to be aware about if you do live in the Ohio Valley, eastern Midwest, or even up here into the Great Lakes region. So I would definitely watch closely. Now, as we do head farther down south, we are getting to the lot of storms area. That indicates that we could have a ton of storms in this area. Some of them could even be snow too as well, because we actually are seeing below average temperatures across Louisiana, getting into places like Mississippi, Alabama, Georgia, and Florida. All those areas are seeing below average temperatures, and even a few other areas too as well are seeing below average. But we are even going to get to a point where we will really start to see below average temperatures throughout the entire southern United States, and that's due to the 6 to 10 day outlook, I think. So I mean, we'll have to watch that closely and be aware about that. And I mean, we can't completely roll out a couple big snowstorms across this area too, especially farther north into places like North Carolina, Tennessee, Arkansas, Oklahoma, getting into the Panhandle, Texas, and then northern New Mexico, northern Arizona, and even north of Los Angeles. Those are the areas that could see some snowstorms, but we'll have to see if this cold air really wants to go really far down south, and if it does, that will bring a better chance for snow. So we can't completely roll out some like rare events, and what I mean by that is Florida doesn't usually see snow, but there is a possibility on if enough cold air goes down south in the Florida, we could definitely be talking about a snowstorm or two. But hopefully they are small, so a rare event can't completely be rolled out. And I don't think we will see one, but we'll see about that, and that's why it's not completely rolled out. Now, if we get a little bit farther north into this area, this is occasionally snowfall. And as you guys can probably see, this includes places like Nebraska, getting into southern Wyoming, southern Idaho, getting into the eastern portion of Nevada, and then back through the entire state of Utah, the entire state of Colorado, and then back through most of Kansas. So this is an area that could see some big snowstorms too as well. This is more going to be like mountain snow is what they see, but and like we were talking about, most of the storms do stay down south, and so that's why I put occasionally on there, because we can't roll out some storms having enough energy that they can go farther north, or even having enough fuel to where they could go farther north. So something to keep an eye on. And like I said, even storms coming out of the Pacific and just going across the country, sometimes that even happens during El Nino. And so that's why this line right here in the central part of the United States right here, going from coast to coast, has at least a chance for storms or snowfall. Now as we get a little bit farther west, this is in California mainly, but even includes southern Oregon, getting into western Nevada. And as you guys can probably see, this is an area that we could see snow, especially for the mountain area, so that's why I did put snow on there. And then if you live in like San Jose or even San Francisco, you're likely to have some coast issues and even some very heavy rain too as well at times. So that's why I did put coast issues on there, because we could see some coastal flooding this winter. So something to really watch for if you do live in San Francisco or San Jose, like I said. So I would definitely be aware of this. Now as we do get to the northernest part of the United States, which is up here, as you guys can probably see, we actually are seeing well above average temperatures for this winter. And to be honest, I think we are already seeing above average temperatures across these areas. And this is the area that usually sees above average temperatures during El Nino, and that's exactly what we expect to see. And even the Climate Prediction Center says that as well. So I mean, we are in a typical El Nino, and so I mean, I thought we weren't gonna see this like weird of an El Nino. I thought it was gonna be just in the strong range, but I mean, if it's really strengthening and getting strong like this, I mean, yeah, you get typical El Nino impacts if it really strengthens that much. So be aware of well above average temperatures if you do live in these areas. You can even like enjoy outside while it feels better than it really is. But yeah, but thank you guys very much for watching my January forecast. I hope you guys like it. If you guys have any questions or even any comments on how this January will play out, you guys can let me know down in the comments below. And thank you guys very much for watching, and I will do one tomorrow.